Oh, fine, I'll look at the poster. Here's my thoughts on the poster. Okay, so we've got lots of things. What do we got? Well, crap. Damn it! See, this is a spoiler prog. For like 3 different reasons. Would anyone like to hear my spoilery reasons why this is a spoilery poster? Whoever designed this poster has gone to art school. I mean that as a compliment, by the way. Let's see, so that's 1 spoiler, 2 spoilers. Looks like 3 spoilers total, actually, if I'm looking at it right. Hang on, just a sec. There it is. So yeah, there's actually several things about this. Like I said, this is definitely someone who has worked on art. You know what? Hang on a second. I'll actually pull this up so you can see it. Give me just a moment. So you can see what I'm looking at. Give me a moment, guys. Let's go next out a while. I'm done with that for now. What the? Where is... There it is. Whoa, infinite! But this is what I really wanted. Okay, now you can see what I'm looking at, kinda. Kinda. So here's the poster, right? First of all, credit to Joe Blow Movie Trailers for this video. Okay, so... First of all, the fact that her weapon is parallel to his weapon. Of course, we've already speculated for some time based on the fact that, based on the way they've been shooting several of the cinematic scenes with the gentleman in the mask, whose name I don't remember and don't care about, that he is actually not a bad guy. So that's not really what I call a spoiler at this point, since we've already had that spoiled for us. Second point, this is very clearly dichotomized artificially. And if you don't understand what I mean by that, look at the bottom chunk of the poster, okay? Can you see my mouse here? No, you cannot. One moment. Mouse mode engaged. I don't care. Okay, mouse mode engaged. This is clearly attempting to create this dichotomy thing, right? The dark troopers, the light troopers, 1, 2, 3. Light side on this side, dark side on this thing, heavy red emphasis on this side, heavy blue emphasis on this side. And yet, if you're paying attention, on the blue side is where we see the Imperial Star Destroyer things, on the red side is where we see the X-Wings, and of course, this design, I don't know how to explain this properly, but this is what we call a false dichotomy situation. In other words, it's supposed to draw your eye to think this is evil and this is good, but they're actually trying to showcase things that are good on the evil side and things that are evil on the good side, which, if you'll remember, is what I've been predicting all along to be the big twist of this movie, that, you know, the Empire isn't bad, or the Alliance isn't good, or whatever. And I'm just seeing that all over this poster. Excuse me. Next point, and this is actually the very first thing that caught my attention. Where's Luke on this poster? We know Mark Hamill's in it. Where is Luke? Han's there. Leia's there. Chewbacca's there. His absence on the poster speaks volumes. And worries me. Also, and this isn't really a spoiler because I heard of this before, but this thing over here, the new Death Star, which is the Sun Crusher thing, that's just, okay, whatever. So yeah, this is why I didn't want to look at this prog. You suck, dude. You can interpret so much from good art design. That's a good thing, don't mistake me. I feel like this is actually a really well done poster, in all honesty. It speaks, it says a lot. It says a lot on the poster, but that's why I didn't want to look at the poster, because, yeah, that gave away a bunch of stuff right there. Unless, of course, this is a, a red herring, which is possible. This is Abrams we're talking about. He thrives on that kind of thing, you know? So, yeah! As an aside, I would also point out something interesting. With regards to the false dichotomy thing, you notice that there's equal... actually, hang on. Yep, there's an equal number of troopers on each side, the dark side and the light side. And I put those in quote-unquotes because, again, I feel like this is a false dichotomy situation. So equal number of troops on both the dark and the light side, and the troops are functionally identical. Which, again, gets across the point I mentioned earlier about, you know, the false dichotomy, etc., etc. So, yeah. Anyways, that's my analysis, Prog. This is set 28 years, I want to say, after. It's like right after the Thrawn duology in the EU, if it were to be slotted into the EU, which of course it is not. Is it 30 years? My bad. Telling you, Javan. His absence here is telling. Also, and I hate to point this out, but I imagine this character right here is going to be the new hero. Why? Because of this right here. I'm gonna say something right now. If she turns out to be a Grey Jedi, I'm just gonna be really, really happy. Even if she doesn't start off as a Grey Jedi, if she turns into a Grey Jedi, like Jolie in KOTOR, that would be awesome. But the significance of... I don't know, lens flares, blah, blah, blah. J.J. Abrams joke, whatever. Point being, the presence of the sun, the dawn, coming right on her, at the apex point of the breaking of the artificial dichotomy between the light side and the dark side is telling, I think. So yeah, she's exactly Prog. I think she's going to be the new Luke, one way or the other. I just would love it if she's Grey. Just personally. Now I'm looking really closely here. I see the Alliance pilot dude, whose name I don't remember. There's R2, there's C-3PO, there's the noob droid, there's some alien I don't recognize. But yeah, I do not see Lando. And I do not see Luke. I believe so, yes, Prog. I can check that really quick, though. Not in the original posters, of course, but in the redone posters. I could find one. Ah, here we go. So yeah, not quite the same style because it was artwork here, but you've got the thing going on here. Where's actually Episode 1 posters? Yeah, it's the same kind of idea that they would do with this thing right here. Awesome, Psychotic. You could argue they've been doing it since the original, though. Because this is the old Star Wars poster, and you can see the flare right there on Luke's lightsaber in front of Darth Vader. So yeah, that's not a new thing. And again, that is telling, I think.